re ka kolla le me lindiwe maziboko ya kona le ba bomme ba ne ba le teng wana mme ba le mo tla re hlalosetsa gona ne go bane go ntse go tluwa go fela ba ke go gona ne ona ba
se etsa go batho ba batso
mamele ba ene ka fela ke opula ntate Mashaba yena o lalla ka mme Helen Zile
ya ke opula
yena ke yena fela ke opula
la bua ka taba ya racism le yena
jwale pa fela mohlomong o tla ke a hlalosa ba re batla ntate Kingsolo
ba rabelle batho ba
ba ntate Kingsolo wena
Mashaba la bua ka racism
a ba ntate Kingsolo a tlo a ba ka taba ya ANC EFF mo
la bua ka ona o kgatlhana le racism mo sholo la fela so jalo rena mara na sa bile
jwale wena mamedi ha itu ha re banke ke mametse ngwana
no mamela a bona a dira ha re tlile mo le botsa karapa ra araba le na re kota go araba re le bontshe di trends I mean nka se tle monana and then be ke l'intrical ska TV we switchang on and off ka radio ka pa ke le batle ke fe di answers tse iloreng ke di answers tse iloreng di batla ke lona I got out of the answers scripted. I mean, if people potso, then I should be given an opportunity to respond.
Yeah, but in the
and make a reference to say this thing is not only unique to the DA, it's unique across all the political spectrum.
Yeah, it Luana Mamid in the Rana yo. It's like you would say ANC wherever to ANC that was talk about. Mona or Namamidi ka DA. And then that Kingsol, Haboni ma batho ba bangata bao ba sentseng ba boletse ba tswa jwale mohlomong he batho ba nka gona ne ke hopola ntate mo I can quote ntate Hemen Mashaba o la gona ne hona le kgethollo ya morabe e ba e seng ntate Hemen Mashaba ke ntate Maimane
ya
go ba be di mane ya ke sho ba fela o ha re a bena gona ne e ka ba hona le bothata
no re go jetse a se bothata batho ba ba resigna it's not even a train smash asintho entsha asemhlolo remember the political ambitions tsa batho ba drive ke di political ambitions tsa bona and then if motho a tloa in a political party aya political party engwe ke choice ya as much as motho decide bane ba decide kana gona ba decide yona ba re ba join Democratic Alliance but I think we can go to the internet and research I think ke leshano lo re ntate Hemen Mashaba o la re DS race ntate Hemen Mashaba what he said was that he cannot work with Helen Zille. Those were the reasons. I think we can even speech Sahai. I think it's available on the internet. Speech in Sahai, and then Ras check. But as but what we like the political parties every day. But something new. I think the phenomenon. Because independents are going to be allowed to contest national and provincial elections. So as in recently, get a reference to the political parties that the Kalni House thank
you. That's why when I wrote. I got to let EFF is Revuaka DA. Revuaka Cantate Bonganabulu. That one is some simple Kara DA. Lekara maspala una wa Midval utulana le rekoto ente marjane se le sa makasa gore a tswe ana le rekoto ente tshi hakana kana ki e
and the day to meaning obana sometimes o fana ka karabo o tshwantse o substantiate the statement sa hawo ke nana le mo gona ke teacher o understand hore re go arabe ska nthibe re ke araba ke ta o araba le ntlasto ke nana hore if ntate Mokoena was to mark my script am put the question ye ya hore ho baneng batho ba tlwela DA and then be reference the incidents tse ding tsa hore bona this thing is not only specific to this organization but bona the organization in tsena na ya etsala here is the trend I think it will give me more marks the way ke arabileng ka teng but sometimes I ke araba o botsa ka ntate Bongani Baloi hore why a tswile ka radio I think that question ke ena ka arabang hore why a tswile ka radio and the decision ana eng hore why a join a DA kana go I think ena ka arabang but now ke bona le batle ke reference the situation tse di ne tla references a situation is a ha ke se reference mara ne tla reference the situations under the Kalni House or under the Kalni House did so much for the ANC He was even arrested, I think, for treason. Ola ba tronkong for the activity states at ANC, but in the end, ola tlola ANC. So ya hore bongano tozi the 17 consecutive audits, it is relevant. I think yena ka tla mona na studio. And then ska how ke sa ka reference about ANC le bo DA, so it means hore lwana you're not supposed to ask me that question. It means they must come and speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Or why but let's DA. Thank you.
Yeah, ha re ska na go anga wa discussion.
Yeah.
Ha re ntse mo at least re be le free flow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ntate Kinsol ha ka sheba ka Midval go masipala ho thung o na le clean audit
9 consecutive, not just clean audit.
9
consecutive.
yes. Oh, thank you. Now re sheba gona ne ho na le batho ba llang ba rena ne masipala wa DA o sebetsa hantle ka tropong fela empa ha o ya ka makeisheneng o fumana gona ne batho ba ka makeisheneng ba ntse ba lla.
I think lona le lebo bora ditaba. I think lona le ka dispel on that notion. You know, the DA delivers across all the areas, but you cannot go to an informal part of Midval and say Midval is not delivering services. Remember, Midval municipality applied it to the provincial government to say, guys, rekopa le re fe the competence re hahele matlo le re fe le budget e rona re hahele matlo, but the provincial government is refusing. But if you go to Timalbone, you go to Savannah City, and then compare limitation in Fulham, then there's a huge difference. We host a formal part. Yes, most likely those are informal areas. But remember, municipality cannot go there and put infrastructure and do what if it's not a formal area. The area has to be formalized first. And then Maspala are talking infrastructure to deliver services. I mean, the phenomenon happens across. I mean, Opalama N1, where just before toll gate, I think that area is Jovic.
Yeah.
It's an informal settlement. There are no services. There are no services, zero. There's an informal settlement. So that is the same with Midval. But
Hey.
remember how it's about the IDP, how it's about the IDP who deliver the services. I think it was it's public knowledge. You can take information like I told you can go to Midval and ask in suburban areas in the past 5 years, migration areas, and then you get that.
Mona hona le motho a re ntate sona ha o batlo a ba dipotso, okay? And jalo gona ga o fa chance o bue.
Okay.
That's how can handle.
And then now some fast space.
Yeah, why one and two?
The show is about solo and Tekwa solo. And then I don't clarify the issues that racism within the D.
But guys, I love racism. What is racism? And Lebon guy racism in the D.
Kili solo gatoro now my man and substantiate. And I think I tried to substantiate. Kitse a ba pisa ne kitse ke batla re bua ka DA Federal Congress re bua ka DA Federal Council in many years. So you see o ba le discuss le mtwa government ka cap ya DA it will be difficult to get the three answers. Remember, Sol must defend the DA ki papeng ya hae, so it's not independent or ga dumela fight. I said take it back. Or Federal Council, there will be no future for any black or African brothers and sisters. Why? How we trace her from Nakontan, it's about Atlas Gibson, or James Selfs. I think Nakonyo no so about one with our agency.
Federal Council, James Selfs.
Now, point Jaga was that for one to emerge as a leader, only little lating. I can give you more than 2 decades or 3 decades. If the end happen, I'm telling you it won't happen.
Come on, so o hlalosa fela ya DA na le neng ya bona. Ha isa rutso ke na ba sweu fela. Batho ba sa kgone ho kena.
Look, composition ya bona might be yes, Hoyakadi structure, perhaps the chairperson, the secretary becomes part of the Federal Council. but the deciding body at a higher level, I am sure.
So ke batla tseba ba tla kutsiso ke tla tla so federal mata a federal e ke a bona ka re ke yona e odimo haholo ke a feng haholo
Matla federal FND. Federal Congress, Federal Council. I will just explain this Federal Council.
Yeah.
Federal Council is the highest decision body in between their congresses. That's where most of the critical decisions are taken. What makes Musimaima not a party? I think it was a decision of the Federal Council to say about its assessment or how they lever for the votes. They have the expectation because there were more blacks who DA, but the votes were deteriorate. So that was the reason Musimaima umugona le country.
Ne ke batla hape zua khutlela morao hape ho shebe federal e kgethuwe ngwana jole na batho ba batho ba teng na.
Ya go gona ne
top 10
ke bone ntate ke mang ke ntate Malatsi
ba re ke Soli Malatsi
ona le ntate mo wa mo India ama ke tse gona nka le bitsa jwang ke sa tsa bitso la
Kasho Sarupen
ke o tata ho molela ke bona ka hona le batho ba ba bedi fela jale ine e tla putso ya bona
Dr. Ivan May ke le Khalati
Dr. Ivan May ke le Khalati jale ha re sheba ntate Kinsolo hona mo ha le kgetha ho lune le kgetha fela tje ka po hona le di some credential tse beiwang before kgetho o DA
already credentials
ha re bue ka hona ne mohlomo ho rona ne equity re batla hona ne re batle ba batho because ba bakana bana ba bakana ho sa khethetse number fela le ho ruteha le ho phela
and that day how na political party in South Africa kgethan leadership ya yona on the basis of academic qualifications. Are kgetha leadership ya rona are etse the race quotas kapa racial beans counting to say tshwantse bana le magwai 2 tshwantse bana le magwai 3 tshwantse bana le batho ba 5 tshwantse bana le batho ba bomme ba 10.
Jwale ha kala ithola gona e le go kgethuwe bana ba basweu ba 10 kaofela.
Remember hore ha re ya congressing the delegates ke tsona tse decide la leadership. Now earlier before Okenaka studio was explaining to Zakes so ba bua ka Dr. Mphapalatso lose the contest. Ke ile feda ka bontsha Zakes so Natasha Mazoni is a white woman in a contest.
Wa bontsha the listeners.
Ka bua ka Tyrone Gray, the mayor of Mogale City, he's a white male. He contested elections, he lost. Not because he's white, but because delegates did not vote for him.
Ha ke bue ka wena he. Ila go botsa sonta bo wena o no o votetse mme
Pophalatsi.
Yes.
O kompe mabaka ano o nana gona ni aka hlola ntate Stines
No, but remember or every candidate, remember rona o tla ka
So le ska ba le.
batho ba mo itumeleng ha ke araba. Mfe chance a ke re mputse potso nna ke araba. Remember me Mpophalatsi, Dr. Mpophalatsi, it's an offer yak ke inana ya o ntshetsa DB. I bought to have vision, to say, okay, I'm happy with this vision. This is the candidate that I'm going to support. Those are my reasons for vote. I did not vote for her because she's a black woman, no. And it's not because I did not vote for Stines and because he's a white male, no. I voted for Dr. Mpophalatsi because of the offer. What she was saying she was going to do. Those were my reasons for voting for her. I also voted for Soli Malatsi emerged. So not all the people that I was supporting. And remember after the election, the leadership that has been elected, we rally behind it. Get a will, a majority. Remember, it's not like by the leadership if it impose. We went all through the democratic process. Honestly, I think a young lady who can actually this is my train of thought.
Tatoa di ya lo khabula wa mkhabudisa magwadi ha khabula next ntato a lo khabula wa hloleya ntato ala le kgabola ntate wa go studio sa go ambotse a sama kgabola a go tsa le mnate studio a mnate ntate wa lo kgabola be mnate itumele le Zakes le ntate King Song wa bona le bua ka taba ya service delivery ke dumellana le ena King Song eske le mo ai wa timalbo le ka shekole na iqeta o tsamaile o seng thoto kene di hladi le pedi di bodi di pedi ke mo hlaka savana o hlaka mashia e mo hlaka hasto di kopana fla mashia manye mwezike kwa mweje ka etse but tweke ratang he ya di o mona ke regi ha re bue ka province mo ba tshwereng ka e tla go pule informal settlement le ke nye ke flats a go pule informal settlement and o tshwere DA mo ke province e tshwere ntho mo le mo tshong matla yona ka ofe
no ke o ya tima jwale ke o ya tima go tlelona
ba ni di sa develop tse buileng ka tsona mal bone bo savana di develop wa ile regime so o ya ka nna ka ga ba ka simple magwana a batla go bontsha fela hore entle ke ha re bontsha a batla hore ho hela hore joinanti e ke mokgatlo o right we resbatse ba ha o right so that is why ba re tsetsa ntho tse ntle mona hore gono re ke gona savana e ga gantsha re tsang to ke re na tsona masipala whatsoever I thank you
alright re nke mehala mona o mo yengkhotso Thetha dumela
wa nkoko
ke utlwa ke ntate mang
ke ntate Zemba
Tata Zemba e ntate twala
wa tseba ona le ntho re le ntho tsa re politiki bana ba tshwereng ba na go ba ne ka di holiday ha ba di holiday ba ya Cape Town o tswa hona le ntho e ntle e tswang ke DA ha ba ya di holiday mo Cape Town ba re ke le ntho Cape Town ba invest in Cape Town the investors in Cape Town ba tsa ba tsaba ha ona party e tla dati onko kana ko la maduro a nna tshwere me re tshwarana go tlhatlheletse ka ke go lena ona msebetsi empa o tshwere ba tshobatsa go na le di-TWP tse ba di ba tsa bolokola ba batho nda tola DA a mo o thola o 100% o thola le vision mara ka re lena ya mo hatela mo studio mo le tsa ka re nena ha tse le motho o na le vision DA ina le vision
Thank you, Tete man. Ntate Zemba. Ra le bonta. Thank you. Ntsana ntate King Saul Chabalala go tswa ka mona ka DA.
Dumela. King Saul o bua nnete straight. And that one is straight dijena. Ke kopa. Itu le wena. O ska mkena no ska obane ha fana ka ntla re mametse so ha re ska batla go King Saul a arabe de we rona gna nang ka di no e rom tswela tsele jwalo ha arabe ka tsela e yena a tsebang ka yona o seng ka tsela ana hanang gore lona le batla gore be right wa tsona so ntwe le ngwe tla ba shape tla ba fe
Thank you tate ka maikutlo hao ntse re le mona go 063 073 756 shibile nako bazuka ka kwano ke bona ntse una le go bona batla go hlahisa
yeah I think discussion ena kapo debate ya rona ka jeno le so it's a very fruitful discussion in a sense hore we wanted to not necessarily to expose but to hlahisa tsebo le information about how these parties operate. You see, it's I'm good I'm not expecting people to say DA hayalo. I rata these two callers. Tserin DA ilukile. Maybe Basevit of Basevit it's fine. But point in any coalition government where the DA is, their collapse. You must take it from there. What are the reasons for the coalition taking in the DA collapse? One reason is because the DA always like to lead the coalitions and the Babatao dictator the terms. What are their attempts? Their attempts is that all this. I was listening to one of their candidates, Mpo Palat, and I explained the issue of coalition. If she was going to be elected as the chairperson, the DA, she mentioned one point.
No chairperson lead down the DA.
The position, I get the national leader is just a bit. Maraba leader is fine. Leader at DA. Now, one point I raised in her campaign was to say, Abamobotaka coalition nationally, are they going to have coalitions now? Yes, of course, but in all the coalition, they want to lead the coalitions. Irrespective of, because Barry, they are trying to discuss the threshold. I think it's one of their positions as DA. In Johannesburg, leader ki motho a keneng ka stulo se one selmeya it don't happen if DA is very kapo ya coalition. That is why ke raise about Tebeka failed thrice where the DA was. Both Johannesburg, both one. You can see. There's a problem. The DA where it is, it always defend their own interest.
How do you find that the solar area?
Okay, I'm gonna say all over the place. Zakes will introduce the coalitions. I wanna terrain the coalitions. I wanna get right to from a position nearly 50 as I understand the next. Now he's saying the coalitions are leading.
Yes.
They are collapse. But it's not telling you why the coalition collapse. And the argument is already wants to lead coalition. I'll make an example in Fulham. ANC is the biggest majority in that coalition. ANC is the leader of that coalition. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, you are not in coalition. I'm raising. No. Let me correct Saul because one misquote. I'm saying where the DA in a coalition. So I can get an example like I fully isolate fully.
Right. Yeah. Hari pa bise mole ko city of Johannesburg le
I think sometimes I get Arab. Then I get chance or Arab. Zakes will be no nabu. Now Zakes can training and introduce the topic inch. Ubuaga coalition. Saying or day rebata moiling coalition it wants to lead. If Ilbona Banalin citizen, Ilbona Banalin percentage, they must lead. Give me an example like I'm full or ANC is leading that coalition. Kaponoring, solidarity leader coalition, yoga citizen too. No, it don't happen. That's what we are saying. Now, okay, that one is in our habol. Zakes Uwaka Federal Council DA.
Yeah.
But Zakes has little knowledge about Federal Council DA.
I'm not a DA, so.
Go and read. If you're going to talk about something, talk about something. Yes.
King's Copa Solomon the King's hands up, scam can have no. Chance are always.
Can I fix skin in my hand on irritate? There is Zakes or Ubuaga Federal Council DA. Now Gamjazar, he must go and get in for Ariana's member DA. You cannot come. Remember Thetha FM. It entertains, it educates, it informs. But now, if Retobea Zakes Kapla Mike, Tansibe into Ailoring, we informed the guy. One, Hatzibur, Federal Council DA, a composite one. Hatzibi, who Batwasavang Federal Council.
Solo.
I won't respond.
Oh, comment the Federal Council DA.
Or more DA in thing, Carad coalition. The coalition is a one. Dia collapse. Kimo Alinti.
No, but it will be like a Federal Council.
So Sakuta Federal no work at the
No, do me. Let me also protect Saul.
Go for chance.
No. Let me also protect Saul. remember we are doing this in a good faith, but he's correct that in a seketa tabatsa coalition. Why I was raising issue at coalition was precisely because there is a point or there's a trend that I'm taking to indicate how the DA behaves, you know, just to defend their interest, their minority. So that is why the coalition. But the topic today is not about coalition. It's about the Federal Council, the Federal Congress. I think let's give him a platform. But I keep at a myopic thinking. As if I didn't do my own research. I even indicated Kibatam Peace Federal Council is the highest decision board.
Not highest decision making board. You know, since Zakes will touch on race.
Yeah.
He dispelled that notion. Abuega the decision making process at DA, we dispel that notion. Abuega the sitting arrangements at DA go Federal Congress. I dispelled that notion. Now, Federal Council at DA, maybe if you go to a simple Honohan, is what the ANC calls NEC. Why born? Now, you cannot comment on Federal Council. I think you need to understand what Federal Council is. It composes a joie, but what serve mo ki boma. We said that the Joes remain in the chair Maranasaduli of Federal Council. How is it that a national chairperson ID does not sit in Federal Council? Well, now we introduce the coalitions or not coalitions of servants, their collapse. Dear high collapse, the coalitions. I'll make an example. It's in Arabic last week. City of Feguruli. Remember now the coalition partners. Then the coalition partners start now the diats. Why but balo forma coalition the ANC. And remember, ticket never campaign again. Ticket the ANC is corrupt. Will never form coalition. The ANC. I mean, going full and they try to collapse coalition. Dear Ilisiku. It's a part of coalition. So, get the nature of coalition politics. Sometimes as the coalition partners, you are not finding one another. As much as the New Horizon movement influenced by the coalition, Valle Hot, it's a coalition, PAC, it's a coalition. There is not even governing, it's not even party of coalition influence. So, it is in the nature of politics. Hence, the DA is saying, guys, we need to legislate how coalitions work in South Africa. There must be a legislation that governs the coalitions. Or the coalitions, we cannot do them willy-nilly. So it means also when if we are in coalition, mulao, eloren rao follower, kuna.
Alright, ena re tlo bana go etlang le tesolo. Ya, re tlo bana go etlang. Kumpleng le tesolo, ena re tla bana go tesolo we notify sorry. Le ke la fa di small parties, tsena le 2 seats. O le dile masipala. O bile ntlengwe.
Coalition. Yeah. This is a point we raise it. One of their direction go batla regulate the coalition so that Hosan ho be le a threshold or ntotse tsa lambo Johannesburg and so on. And I'm happy because next to me why confirm. Look, 2 things get to a platform. Why I'm saying DA is racist. I'm saying it in a sense, if I can take you back, DA is the first party, affirmative action doesn't address the inequalities. And issue land expropriation, because that land belongs to their owners. And the owners are land, as I'm speaking to you, minority, land of it the majority. Thank you.
Margaret is a statement. Can I respond? Yes. Maybe I was a question, then I'll have a question now since I respond.
Speak out the Jagas.
Mamela, Napuchaka in a Ibata Ronani, he agarden to the Tenidwera co conference. The battle to Bafella Ronani, go ha Mr. Steen Hazen, Anne Are, EFF, and Tatimalema. The public enemy number 1. Was he talking ka boyena kapo on behalf of the DA na una bua la DA kapo una bua ka boyena na
anda dem go le leader DA I go bua la DA yes na re ga ranes
na me mata gona ni if o a go ke
no bana ke rombo so bua la ke leader ya DA
and what give me the reason why ana should
no but remember as the DA we are saying the policy propositions the DA for South Africa will collapse South Africa within 2 years. So if EFF was to govern South Africa will collapse. Zimbabwe. I think Sheba Zimbabwe was the basket, was the food basket of Africa. Who is the land today? You have doctors, you have teachers from Zimbabwe. Today, Bagidi Kagats. So we are saying we don't want that. So we need to do everything to ensure EFF does not emerge. I think Steenhuisen was saying that. Now to come to Zakes, land. You know, Zakes must go and read Section 25 of the Constitution.
I know it, Mshana. Rule 25.
No, Section 25.
No, Rule 25.
Okay, it's fine. Section 25 of the Constitution makes provision for expropriation of land. The former Deputy Chief Justice, your Constitutional Court, resigned. You know, in terms of some look of all the things, go government or non KC whenever it is thing, go Constitutional Court about expropriation. Realize the day we're saying if you do expropriation, do within the confines of the Constitution. Do it within the confines of Section 25. Now, no affirmative action in the black economy.
What?
Oh, this. Okay. Right issue ya black economic empowerment. I think you explained it earlier. Now, we've had the black economic empowerment policy in South Africa, I think since from 1996. We don't have to go anywhere. How many young people in Mfuleni benefited through black economic empowerment? How many people, how many women benefited through black economic empowerment? I wrap up in 1 minute. How many people? Now, the DA is saying, remember negotiations are not introduced the economic justice policy. To say the yardstick that every user will determine who gets the 350. Let's use that to get empower. Let's use that to empower young people. Let's use that to empower South Africans. Formulary user who dispense the social grant. Let's use the very same thing. We are going to benefit. Is that the party ailoring is against white people? Do you know who but by EPWP? Government pays about 11,000 to the service provider from Taiwan or EPWP. But shelter if it around 3,000. Saying let's cut the middlemen. 11,000 but by EPWP kaufela. Now, is that a party ailoring represented the interests of Amahuana?
All right. You go back to the one kata ba 25 o phama ka yona. E ke go ba keno yona. Wa go dilona le phawo yona.
So lo o tla mona ka go tlo educate because from time to time I want to must substantiate it. But how work at 11,005? He can substantiate it. My point is, Rule 25, AI is Section 21. No correct work in all provision. Not the land. But issue is that remember the Constitution itself is not biased to us. The Constitution is biased to them. So that is why they will protect themselves. That is why in South Africa, the party is into that majority because on its own they can change the Constitution. DA will be the first to protect the Constitution. But this Constitution is not our Constitution.
Oh, what it protected rights?
Yeah.
Constitution never protected rights.
Yeah. I will also take you further in terms of
just one example.
Oh, that is all. So lapil.
So I will look ke tlo nka pe go ise issue tsa basebetsi. Issue tsa basebetsi, the very same Constitution says the very same employers must have the equal right or more rights than the workers, you know. That is why when you want to protest, you want to march, it depends to the employer, how employer feels. And that employer have the right. We are the Constitution.
You know, I think statement Zakes is an indictment to all the freedom fighters to South Africa who liberated this country. Bontate Nelson Mandela. I think Zakes must go and read Constitution of country and go and understand.
I think we need to come back.
I understand the Constitution ereng about South Africa. Ha hona mo Constitution ereng batho ba batsho le tla ba bitiro feta magoa kapa magoa le tla ba bitiro feta batho ba batsho kapa banana ba tla ba ka fatshe banana ba tla ba ka udi ba bona
le ratela ntwe so
now ha ne ke ya ho ha ke soka ke bala Constitution be fitla mo e buang ka rule 25 hence ne ke itse section 25 because ke nana le mo mamedi ha le hae ha I bona le copy ya Constitution section 25 o tla ithola ka speed as opposed to rule 25 by one rules remember this what service of parliament so that I'm saying o shebene everything but by buanga di it's just a propaganda by one like but people will say this is racist and then I was already this is racist they cannot answer you but ba fa dikarabo tse wishy-washy now remember har khetha leadership ar ha le khetha maybe get a pele kapa board ya Thetha FM maybe lona le say let's a provision or re tlo ikgetha so le go etsa example before nkhatha ke rona le meana contested the youngest candidate ne le lungile phenya contested for positions even though I lose it is that not democracy leadership ya le bona mo delegates ha ona mtha forced doing candidates in a dilemo they presented their offer, they lobbied, bakopa batho ba ba vote le ba ba support. Ba bang ba delegates ba voted. Ba bang ha ba vote. It's not a train smash. Khale re contest the position in the DA. Khale re loser. Le ka jentse re maloko a DA.
Lastly, just to comment, I'm not counteracting. No, I'm not counteracting my fellow colleagues. I'm just saying, you see, solo was come Tarek's insurance because Tarek's insurance mhlanye mo tibekileng o jwetsa go product e ne le masepa. I'm sorry to say that or product e I said it ba ja ba to chele. So I'm not wishing him the bad things, but I'm saying time will come. I'm not predicting, I'm not wishing well bad, but I'm saying time will come. We experienced leaders stand at the high position in. But come on, so I'm saying this thing in Tenida, the second thought, in Tenida, it happens so that.
One day, Kabaka, piece happened next to the pay. Tomorrow, I visit Sunday, like section 25. Next week Sunday.
I'm happy because I get 25 for everybody. Like I was section
25. Mamedi fitle peletsong na neo ke na go re bueng ya
or every time la re invite re khono buang ba mamedi ba Thetha FM re le ka o sane se ke la kgathala matla
go hateletse
I know ke khona go ingwapela re tla be ke tlang re tlo bua ka section 25 re educate re buele batho ba borona ka ena section 25 le re fanele ka position ya di ke le bontsha
all right please ile section 25 re tlo batla le wa PC then the
yeah ke kopa link ke nyele
yeah ke mahare all right thank you Zakes Nqai.